Hey friends, welcome to the School of Hard Knocks. My name is Darcie and I'm a proud multi-graduate of the school we call life. This is your place to get unstuck from trauma and stuck in your healing. Go grab your favorite drink, get yourself nice and cozy, and let's walk this journey together. Just a quick reminder. This podcast shares personal stories and lived experiences. It's not therapy. It's not counseling or legal advice. If you need professional help, please reach out to a licensed provider. Hey, School of Hard Knocks. Welcome to the very first live recorded visual episode of the School of Hard Knocks. I'm so excited to be able to start doing these live with you guys like this. And I can't wait to see how much more that the podcast grows. And you guys have seen episodes with me, talking with other people and recording those episodes, but we haven't done any with just me in the office. So here I am. Get used to the fuzzy blanket. Even if it's 90 degrees outside, I have to have a fuzzy blanket. Let's talk about all the things. So the podcast has been here now for almost 7 months. The first episode launched on, this might have been the 7th month, February, because now we're in March. We launched on July 30th is when the first episode was recorded. And now here we are. Today is actually March 3rd. There's going to be a lot of different things that switch around on this podcast, this being one of them. Because it's just time to grow. We have Grit here. Itching himself. You guys are going to get used to seeing the dogs. You're going to get used to possibly Eric popping in. It's real life. So let's talk about some of the things that have transpired over the course of the last 7 months, almost 8. So the podcast, like I said, was launched July 30th, I believe. And now here we are on March 3rd. Last year, I did end being in the top 100 podcasts internationally, which I'm very proud of. We have consistently grown and maintained our followers, which is another really awesome thing. But we've had a lot of things happen in our home that have changed the dynamic of a lot of different things as well, right? So my dad passed away in October. We are almost 5 months into that loss. So there's been this entire grieving period for me. I just had my second chapter published in the collaborative book, Empower Her. So right here is volume 1. Volume 2 was just released this last week, like I said. And I have actually been taking some courses to become certified as a practitioner to help people with neuro-linguistic programming, time management, clinical hypnosis, success coach. There's another one in there that I can't remember. I just graduated with all 5 of those certificates on the 1st, so 2 days ago, after putting in 120 hours last month. In the shortest month of the year, I did the most stuff. And I'm really excited to start bringing some of that to you guys and really start to dive into what it does look like to get unstuck fully from trauma and stuck in healing. So let's talk about that. I have, as many of you have been listening to the podcast now for 7-8 months, had to get unstuck from trauma in several different ways, right? Because of several different reasons. Most recently, obviously, the grief of losing my dad. And it has been a very interesting course that I have navigated through. I mean, there were some days that I felt like I was so lost. There's still some days that I feel like I'm so lost. When I finished my first part of practitioner, I had come home and passed the test, and I was so excited, and tears just came, and Eric's like, aren't you just so excited? And yes, I'm excited, but the one person that I really want to call to celebrate this with, now I can't. Now, mindfully, I know that my dad is in heaven. We believe in God. We believe in heaven. We believe that, God is all around us and protecting us all of the time. But he gets to see everything that I'm doing, but I don't get to see his reactions to it. And that's been difficult for me. Like, I know he sees what I'm doing and I know he's proud of me, but I don't get to see like the normal reactions or get like the normal responses that I used to get from my dad. So navigating through this grief has been very foreign to me. It's not anything I've ever experienced in my life. With that being said, I've also used a lot of the tools that I have collectively put together in my toolbox over, the last year that I've been really kind of focused on getting unstuck from trauma and stuck in healing. And I've been really applying that to my current situation. Let me give you an example. So it was probably 3 or 4 days after my dad died, and I couldn't even sit downstairs for like the first 4 or 5 days. It was so bizarre not seeing him in his recliner, so different not getting the medication, getting him to the bathroom, making the food, cutting it up special for him, all of the stuff that we used to do. And I came walking downstairs from our bedroom and there was music playing. And I just remember like thinking to myself, don't even look to the right, because looking to the right would have gave me a clear view of my dad sitting in his recliner. And I thought, don't even look to the right because you already know he's not going to sit there. He's not going to be sitting there and you're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel all of these types of ways. Just head straight, keep walking. And so that's what I did. And I walked out into our garage and took like, you are fine. You are fine. You are going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And immediately, new Darcie, right? She chimed in and looked at old Darcie and was like, what are you saying? You are not okay. And that is okay. Let it go. So I just started crying. Full out, loud crying. Eric came out. What happened? What happened? What happened? And when I caught my breath finally, I said, well, it was the music. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about it. And you don't have to apologize. Music was a big thing in our house. Hence why it hit me so strongly, right? Like my dad loved music. He loved classic rock music. I don't want to say classic, but it's not like he didn't like classic, but like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, but he really enjoyed like Metallica and Jackal and things that not like the normal dad would like. His favorite song was Ted Nugent, Stranglehold. So if that gives you a little bit of a clue of how my dad was. But in any case, right there using that tool to be able to give myself grace, to honor what I was feeling, to honor what I was going through. For the longest time in my life, I've put this superwoman cape on. I know you guys have heard me talk about this before because it was something that was so ingrained in me. I can make it through everything. I'm strong. I can handle everything. I would pride myself on being like an alpha female. I don't need anybody's help with anything because I never have. But internally, the gentle woman that is inside of me is like, yeah, you kind of do though. Like you're so afraid to ask to be nurtured. You're so afraid to be asked to be taken care of. Like that's a sign of weakness. And it's actually a sign of strength. And I think that it took me a really long time to view it as such because to me, asking for help meant that I couldn't do it. And that wasn't something I was ready to accept. But now, going through a lot of the healing that I've gone through, asking for help is something that I'm okay with. Accepting help is something that I'm okay with. Not being okay sometimes is something that I'm okay with, right? But I take a lot of these tools that I've learned and that I've been sharing with you guys over the course of the last 7 or 8 months because it's what's been working for me. It's what's been helping me to be able to navigate through all different types of situations that still occur. Even though my dad passed away and I'm going through grief, bills still have to be paid. Businesses still have to be worked. Dogs have to be fed and they have to be taken care of. And my husband still needs attention. And I still have grandchildren and siblings and a mom and a grandmother and a daughter. And, like I still have all of these things that still need to be taken care of. But I've learned how to assert myself in a way of, like if my daughter needs a babysitter, I'm not ready for it right now. She's really asking if Eric and I will take our youngest granddaughter and her dog for a couple of days in April. And I'm swaying more towards the decision to do it than I am to not do it. But I haven't been able to take my granddaughters overnight since my dad has passed away, because there's a lot of nights that I'm just not good. And I'm anxious and I can't sleep and I'm up and I'm moving and I'm just like, where are my tools? What do I need to do? Do I need to change? I need to change the scary movie that's playing in my head from the day that my dad passed away, right? So these are a lot of the things that I've been talking about here on the podcast. And there's so many more things that are coming, so many more guests that are coming. And this is something that I think is going to be really great for us to be able to connect on a more visual front, versus just you guys listening to my voice all the time. You can still listen to the voice if you're driving. Definitely don't recommend watching. We're also changing. I am also changing the time that the podcasts are coming out. So instead of it being right away at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're going to start posting more at 6 o'clock at night, when you are settled down and you are sitting down and you are able to listen. So this is just a little hello. How are you? I'm so thankful that a lot of you have been here since the beginning. I'm so thankful for the support. I'm very excited about going forward and things changing and, bringing more tools to the School of Hard Knocks that are actually able to help everybody. Everybody deserves to feel happiness in their life. Everybody deserves to feel pride and safe and comfortable. And when we're going through a lot of these things in our life, we tend to just continue to push ourselves underneath the carpet. And I really want this to be a place where you're able to come, grab your blanket, grab your drink, let's sit down, let's have a conversation, and let's really start healing together, because that's just where we need to be getting to. This is the year of healing, so welcome to it. See you next time. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time with me today. And I'm so proud of you for stepping into your healing journey. Please share this with every single person that you know. I'm here to make the biggest impact possible, and I can only do that with you by my side. I hope you hit that follow button and you save me to your library so you never miss an episode. We just took another break out of your wall, and remember, with God, healing is always possible. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.